Hello everyone, I'm Phantom Zwei, and welcome to something a little different. We're going to be taking a look at the demo of Shining Song Starnova, which is the next project from Love in Space, the people behind the Sunrider franchise, which I've talked about on the past on my channel, did a little review of Liberation Day, that sort of thing. So, you know, I kind of have a little bit of investment, I guess, in kind of where they're at as a company and what they're doing. And so I thought I'd take a look at their latest visual novel, which is an idol-themed visual novel. This is just the demo, so it is for free. You can download it on Steam or directly from... Well, I got a direct link from, actually, their Twitter, but I'm sure you can get it on their website and such as that. But anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at what this game is all about, shall we? Start. Okay, so we can access the menu by hovering to the left side of the screen. Like this. Alrighty. A vast sea of neon glow sticks continued on to infinity. Attendees filled the performance hall. Really jumping right into it. Legions of otaku, dressed in bright pink robes adorned with chainmails of pin buttons of their chosen idols, stood at the front row, anticipating the coming moment of rapture. Rapture, huh? Idol! The word originally referred to sculptures made of precious metals or wood worshipped by early humans as pious icons. But in more recent times, a new religion had usurped the old gods. A religion which erected its chapels of decadence in the holy land of Akihabara, and levied tithe eagerly paid by men desperate to believe that a better place existed than their sad lots. Wow. Wow. Apparently you can't just like an idol, you have to be an obsessive freak about them. Okay. The stage lights turned on. Enormous speakers boomed the new gospel as young girls clad in black and navy skirts and tops ran onto the stage. Are you ready? We proudly present the icon of Japanese entertainment, Blacker Than the Night, the mega unit at the center of the galaxy. All the stars revolve around us. We are... Oh wait, this is probably the idol unit talking, isn't it? Quasar! The crowd roared in a wild frenzy as their goddesses descended from the heavens. Wow. Grown men wept in shame knowing that they had come down. They without taint had come to cleanse the sinful, dirty, unworthy mass of humanity with their radiance. Holy shit. Cleanse us! The men raised their glow sticks on high, prepared to close their eyes eternal and rise skyward into salvation. The era in which men prostrated themselves not before calves of gold, but below the heels of girls singing shining songs, had begun. Okay. I mean, I like Love Live, but woo! The woman shook her head as Quasar's New Year's Live played on the television set above her. She downed the shot of cold sake. This is quite a transition. Woman. A term alien to these kinds of stories. In most cases, one was a girl. Or at least had the word Or at least had the word young prefixed to the word woman. Woman was a poor word for marketability, evoking the sort of plain Jane peach-colored underwear one would find on the discount rack at the supermarket. Maybe one time you accidentally walked in to your mom changing and glimpsed said underwear. This is getting really weird. In other words, completely unexciting. Girl, on the other hand, it turned men's eyeballs. With the proper intonation, that single word could fill a man's gut with both excitement and unease, restlessness and desire. How skittish men turned upon that singular word and all its suggestiveness. Everywhere, the mythos of girl saturated the lives of men. She looked down from billboards on top of buildings, spoke to them through speakers, teased them through letters in a magazine. Okay, so there's not voice acting. I think I Love in Space has started their Kickstarter, which I'll try to remember to put a link to that actually in the description if you do decide that you are interested in this and maybe you want to support it. But I am pretty sure that the voice acting is part of their ongoing goals, so I don't know this for a fact, but I assume the game is going to be fully voice acted. But it looks like the demo is not. Don't hold me to that, but I believe that is the case. Used to be a member of Quasar myself, before they sacked me. Shit-eaters, calling me old, but they don't know a thing about me. Goddamn hypocrites, pretending to be all pure and innocent. But I know what they're really like, and it ain't anything like what you see on TV. She went on drunkenly, mostly to herself. I can still do it. There we go. Just watch me, old man. I'm gonna do it. Maria? Or is it Mariah? Not sure how you pronounce that. I'm gonna say Mariah. Pounded the bar, her head swaying. I'm gonna be in... You're being loud, woman. You had enough. Now get back home. The sliding door slammed shut behind Mariah as the barman tossed her out into the winter street. Nice guy. Of course, I guess you kind of have to do that when you run a bar. She bent down and lit a cigarette. Shit-eaters. All of them. She slumped back home, cigarette dangling from her mouth. So what if I'm 25? She's only 25? I mean, I guess in the idol world that's probably pretty old, but anyway. Still plenty of years left. Not fresh anymore. We want a fresh face? Fucking kids. Flooding the market. Suddenly, bad memories hit her all at once. Standing in a line with girls half her age, begging for another chance. She could see the looks on the other girls. They were laughing at her. The vibe I got reading about the synopsis of this game and stuff, and well, I guess the parallels, because your character is Mr. Producer, so I'm pretty sure that this game is more or less kind of like a visual novel take on, like, Idolmaster. You know, nothing official about the link there, but I mean, you're freaking Mr. Producer. So, you know, I kind of think that's the market they're gunning for there. The executives were probably laughing at her, too. Everyone must have thought she had gone mad. Her stomach turned with humiliation and rage. Shit-eaters! She kicked a telephone pole. Whatever. Fine, go ahead and debut ahead of me. Huh. Shit-faced kids who have no clue what's ahead of them. Sorry, kid, but your dream of becoming Japan's top idol ain't gonna pass. Just wait till you're sucking off your producer every night and chain-smoking just to stay afloat. Huh! Where your dream's gonna be then, kid. Wow, she's a little angry. Mariah continued her rant against this imaginary girl as she sauntered home. However, a bizarre sight interrupted her one-woman rage against reality. She saw a small figure step above the railing of a nearby bridge. Hey! Is that... Hey! The chilly winter breeze ruffled the girl's hair as she gazed down at the riverbank. You're very much like Aya from, The idols have a lot of similarities between the designs of the characters from, Sunrider. And she looks like Aya, but kind of with the demeanor of, oh gosh, I've forgotten the girls' names from Sunrider. But it has been like a year since I played it. So, anyway, the very demure girl. Anyway. She had no idea what she was doing, or how she'd gotten there. I wonder if I should just jump. What a strange thought. I wonder why I'm thinking this. And yet, I'm here, standing on the railing. I wonder if this means I should just give up after all. Yes, that's a very sensical argument. The girl's thoughts were interrupted by Mariah's voice. Hey! What are you doing? Now that Mariah was close, she could see that the girl looked like a high schooler. Just why was this kid going to throw her life away? You're still young. There's no need to throw your life away this soon! The girl spun around and faced Mariah. Little shit, she's got a cute face too. Is she just gonna give up? Get down here, now! No, The girl's eyes widened as she shook her hands in a panic. There's no need. Mariah leaped forward just as the girl lost her balance on the icy railing and fell backwards. Whoops. Back then, I might have been a girl who believed in fate. But after a certain point, I decided that life doesn't follow such a fairy tale format. Life doesn't have a moral at the end of the story, and both good and bad things happen for no reason. In the end, we just imagine connections between a series of random, unconnected events to give our lives meaning. So I won't say that it was fate. It was merely a chance encounter which began the story of the 7 broken idols of Starnova. A story of laughs, a story of tears, a secret story of how 7 flawed girls were led by a certain producer driven only by his desire to create the greatest idol group of all time. Yes, this is the tale of that producer. This is your story. Like Titus from Final Fantasy X. Or Titus, I think is how you're supposed to say his name. This is my story. The story of Shining Song Starnova! Alright. So that is the intro to the game. I thought that the opening scene with the group called Quasar was incredibly tacky, but the scene after that I actually liked, with Mariah and Sasami there. Brr, cold, cold, cold. I woke up to the frigid winter morning. Given my current finances, I couldn't afford to turn on the heating and had to sleep wrapped up in thick blankets instead. As soon as I tore myself from the sanctuary of my warm futon, I was assaulted from every direction by Old Man Winter. I entered the bathroom, trying my best not to faint from both the cold and sleepiness. An unkempt face with weary eyes stared back as I stood before the mirror. I'd been unemployed for the past 2 months after being fired from my last job. Thanks to my paltry savings, the past few weeks had been a losing war against eviction and starvation. Yeah, that's a pretty bad spot there, buddy. Oh, is that that poster in the back? Is that like a Fault Milestone? I think it's Fault Milestone 1. Anyway, I think that's another visual novel sort of representation. But are they dressed up as idols? I don't know. I actually have not played, but like, I'd say an hour of the Fault games. But anyway, I want and need to play them. I have such a backlog. But let's continue. However, my luck finally turned around. By chance, I encountered my old professor from management school, who happened to own a talent agency. Starting today, I was going to be a producer at Shining Productions. Do they really just give someone with no qualifications a producer job? If so, man, you've got a really good friend there. That's all I can say about that. Where I could once again manage a group of idols. Oh, once again, so he has experience. Okay, never mind. My complaint is just completely out the window. That was my dream, to become the producer of Japan's greatest idol group. That was why last year I started working as a manager at Golden Calf Productions, Japan's premier talent agency. Golden Calf manufactured girls into stars. Today, the girls of Golden Calf regularly appeared on national television and consistently filled every concert with attendees. Not only that, but Golden Calf had substantial ties to media corporations, as well as the Japanese government. You could call it Japan's #1 idol corporation. I thought I was finally a step closer to realizing my dream when I was hired by Golden Calf last year. However, that dream was abruptly cut short when I was fired due to a certain incident. Ah, okay. Something we'll get to hear more about as the game goes on, I take it. Ever since then, my life had become a nightmare. I shook my head and cleaned myself up with a razor. But now that nightmare was going to end. I was going to grasp this second chance and become an idol producer once more. Gathering my energy, I shook myself awake and left my apartment. Okay, Mr. Producer. After a bit of a walk, I arrived at the Shining production office. I couldn't help but be somewhat taken aback by the crumbling tenement. Frankly, the apartment was largely a dump, with crackling concrete walls and faded windows, half of which were covered up with plywood. For a while, I was left wondering if I was even at the right location. However, upon closer inspection, a row of faded and peeling stickers spelled out Shining Productions on the second floor window. I swallowed my apprehension and went upstairs, only to be greeted with a cramped office. Hello? I looked around for anyone else. A tiny girl who looked about 14 years old poked her head out from behind a rolling whiteboard. She's 14? Jesus, man. Alright, sure. What do you want? Is this Shining Productions? I'm the new producer. The girl suddenly scrambled to attention. I'm Aki-chan, the eternally 12-year-old idol. That's a little creepy, but sure. Oni-chan, take good care of Aki-chan from now. I feel creepy just saying this. Or else Aki-chan will get upset. What the hell was this sudden 180 personality shift? Okay, so she's kind of a crabby person, but she's trying to play the part of an idol. Okay, I got you. Ugh, I see. I opened up the portfolio Professor Okada gave me yesterday. Sure enough, I found Kashiwagi Aki listed as one of the talent candidates for Shining Productions. Kashiwagi Aki, 18 years old. Okay, so we're actively avoiding the jailbait thing. I appreciate that. Was a child model, then became an idol at the tender age of 12. I see. Child idols appeal to a certain very limited subset of the fan base. Yes, a certain subset of the fan base indeed. But no matter what, they had an expiration date, after which their fans suddenly lose interest and turn to the next fresh little thing. Wow, this is... I mean, it's true, but when you put it like that, it's like, woo, ouch. Sure, they can try and keep up the elementary schooler act for as long as they want, but all girls grow up eventually. Hey, don't look at me like I'm some kind of creeper, even though I'm totally feeling that way. I'm just laying things out as they are. I bowed a bit to Aki. I look forward to working with you, Kashiwagi-san. Just call me Aki-chan, Oni-chan. Yeah. Well, let's see how long she can keep up with the whole I'm just a stupid kid tee-hee act. The most important thing was not to get caught up in the act yourself. Never forget that these girls are thinking only of themselves. The entertainment industry was a dog-eat-dog world. At the end of the day, what mattered was getting ahead at the rat race. The whole I'm just a weak little girl you need to protect act was for their own benefit. Hey everyone, the new producer's finally here! The girl went into what looked like a break room, where the others were gathered. I do like Aki's design a lot, I will say. I kind of have a thing for redheads. But anyway, a hodgepodge of girls emerged. Okay, so it's the, well, maybe not suicidal girl from the beginning? Anyway, who knows what she was thinking? Before I could see her, one of the girls retreated back into the room. What was her issue? Was she pulling the, I'm just a pure virgin who's scared of men card? Okay, this guy is rather cynical, isn't he? Before I could investigate, the oldest-looking woman of the group began talking. Of course, we all know what the word woman means in this context. After all, the game spelled that out to us earlier, right? Woman is an evil word. It should be girl. Was she supposed to be the alpha of this pack? So you're the new producer, eh? Shit, she stunk of tobacco and booze. Should probably clean up a little bit. She swaggered side to side, as if she was drunk. In fact, given her stench, I wouldn't be surprised at all if she actually was drunk. I don't care if you're some kind of big shot who used to work for Golden Calf. Listen here, little man. I ain't letting you have your way with these girls. I know the way you men think. We're all just walking cash cows to you, to exploit, and to use so you can go swim in your pool of cash. I'm on to you, little man. Don't think your words are gonna sway us. And here you have the textbook example of the burned-out idol entering the latter half of her 20s. Yes, the ripe old age of 25. Basically, this is where the end of the line was. Even the best idols eventually lose their youth, and that's when the fans start turning away. Your body suddenly can't pull off those dance moves that you used to do as well as a teenager. Hearts start getting wrinkly and saggy. And so, at their wits' end, they crash down the slope of recreational drugs and booze. Mariah, you're drunk again. Haven't we told you not to come to work like this? Shut up! You were there drinking with me too last night. Ah, does this mean that my body can't handle as much as anymore? The blonde girl pushed Mariah back into the break room and then returned. Watanabe Julie. My mom is Japanese while my dad is American. I was going to comment on her name, so I'm glad they clarified that right up front, in case you were wondering about the hair. Well, I was wondering about the name, actually, but I'm counting on you, producer. Ah, a hafu. Idols of mixed... Okay, I get it. Hafu. Idols of mixed ancestry tend to excite fans the same way as exotic animals do at zoos. Man, this guy is kind of an asshole. Blondie emanated a powerful aura about her, as if she expected to be treated like royalty. Just as expected from an idol, huh? Whew. Well, Jeez, man. We're not very likable. After all, American girls had reputations for being more wild, so just let the imagination of the fanbase run, and they can already conjure up all sorts of unbelievable scenarios in their head about this and that. Sometimes guys get tired of jerking off to the same old Japanese face and want something more unique. Something that they need to tame first. You know? Yeah, okay. Sure, dude. Hey, like I said, I'm just laying it out how it is. I think maybe you have a strange bias there, but sure. I'm just doing my job here. I'm not here to make friends out of my coworkers. I'm here to make them commercially successful. I mean, that detachment is realistically good, I suppose, but the cynical viewpoint doesn't help him much, I'd imagine. Yahoo! Nice to meet you, P-kun. Tanabe Natsuki, but everyone calls me Natan. Country girl from Kansai turned Tokyo Idol. How you do? I don't know if I should give her a country accent or... Anyway. Country girl from Kansai was right. She seemed more at place in front of a pickup truck on a dirt farm road than dancing on a stage. Her skin was tan brown, and she, as if she'd spent her entire childhood picking rice in the fields or something. What was a girl like that doing in Tokyo, trying to become an idol? I guess nowadays girls with defects were considered moe too, but turning a country bumpkin into an idol? With defects. Man, this guy is such a prick! No matter how you spun this, this was going to be a hard sell. I turned my attention to the two other girls. Are you looking at me, Producer-kun? You can call me Nimu Nimu. My hobbies are knitting, cooking, and cleaning. I'm sure they are. People say I'm a little dense, but let's do our best, okay? Her tongue has a heart on it. That's freaking me out. I mean, I know that her little hair pieces, I forget what you call those, like ago or something. But anyway, her tongue thing is really creeping me out. I know she's pretty much Claude from Sun Rider in terms of her design, but even more pink, I think. What a stereotypical opening. In fact, she was pretty much the conventional image of an idol. Just a little airheaded domestic submissive, and just look at those melons dangling from her chest. Although I wonder just how much of that was real and what was fake, and I wasn't just talking about her personality. Oh, Producer-kun, you should know that Nimu's the real deal. Eh? Ah, you need to be more careful, Oni-chan. Nimu can actually read people's minds with that heart-shaped antenna on her head. Okay, well that seemed pretty far-fetched. Seemed like Nimu was actually pretty clever. I guess despite her airheaded appearance, Nimu was sharp at reading people's thoughts. That was a necessary skill for a successful idol in any matter. That only seemed to confirm that Nimu was sharper than she let on. Teehee. Well, I don't mind if Producer-kun is interested in taking a gander, just to see how much of Nimu is fake. Nimu exposed more of her cleavage in an absent-minded manner, as if stripping down in the middle of an office was a regular occurrence. Ahem. Despite being a healthy young man with an unavoidable interest in such matters, I had to remain above the games that these girls play. We'll be doing the physical examination later. That left one girl, aside from the one who hid from me. Shit, I already have an insanely bad feeling about her. This servant of the dark song beckons you, my new master. Oh gosh, she's like, oh, I can't remember her name from Idolmaster, even though she was like my favorite girl from the anime. She was the gothic Lolita sort of girl. I can't remember her name. I can't believe it. Oh well. I just kind of watched the anime and that was it. But anyway. The trials of this one have been grave, filled with many hopeless battles. And in the end, I feared I had sustained a mortal wound. But I see that my brave Black Knight has arrived at the appointed hour to save this lowly one from her fate. Make haste, O Dark One, and taint this one with your black so that I may rise yet again, not as a pitiful mortal, but as an undead. This here is someone referred to as a chunibyo. Thanks to a certain late-night anime, acting like a fool middle schooler has been all the rage with the Akiba folk lately. From light novels to eroge to anime, characters of this flock were propagating everywhere. It was only a matter of time until they seeped into the idol world as well. Oh, Dark One, why do you pause so? Is it that you desire to see this maiden suffer? Not feeling like playing along, I just looked at her information from my portfolio. 20 years of age. High school diploma, but everything else in her resume after that was a giant blank. No prior work history in the idol industry. Hashimoto Mika-san, I presume? I look forward to working with you. Ah, the Dark One has acknowledged this one! Chuni-chan. No one can even understand what you're saying. I gotta say, so far Mika is by far the most interesting of the lot to me, but her character is fun. That seemed to put a stop to Mika's act. She pouted and looked away from Aki. The two of them didn't get along. I'll have to be careful. Well, that was everyone for now. Where's Sasa-chan? Aki peered into the break room and pulled her out. Ah. Gugh, this girl. She was the one from that incident. The one that got me fired from Golden Calf. Oh, jeez. This is gonna go poorly. No wonder she hid herself the instant she saw me. What was she doing here? Come to think of it, she most likely got fired after what happened too. Did she sign on with Shining Productions after that? This coincidence was too convenient. Most likely, their professor purposely hired the both of us to work together, precisely knowing the details of that incident. That would explain why a fired producer like me was suddenly hired out of the blue for this agency. So the professor played a fast one on me, huh? I rubbed the back of my head in frustration. Eh? Something wrong? No. For now, I didn't want to share the particulars of my exit from Golden Calf with the other girls. Shimazaki Sasami-san, I look forward to working with you. Yes, I look forward to working with you too, Mr. Producer. With that said, Sasami retreated behind the other girls. Sasa-chan, you're always too shy. You'll never become an idol with that kind of attitude. Sorry. With that, the self-introductions were over. As if on cue, Professor Okada walked through the door. Good morning. Good morning, Professor. Good morning, everyone. My apologies for my tardy arrival. It appears you girls have already met your new producer. Professor Okada introduced me once more to the girls. Nishiyama-kun is a former student of mine. While he's still young, he is a diligent worker who will do everything in his power to turn everyone into successful idols. Please work hard together. I'm counting on each and every one of you. As I said, starting from today, I'll be Shining Productions' new producer. Even though we're starting from scratch, I want to accomplish big things together. Big things, huh? I understand all of you applied to become talents at our agency. Before we formalize your work contract, there are certain criteria to be met. First, we'll begin with physical examinations, followed by individual interviews. We're still a small agency, so in the end, you are our only applicants. Please do your best to relax and convey your natural personality. Oh, Ni-chan's sure a pervert, wanting to see Aki-chan the way she was born the first day on the job. We'll be wearing swimsuits, obviously. While you're preparing for the examination, please also take your measurements. Of course, they'll be kept confidential, so feel at ease. We'll use your measurements to prepare your stage uniforms, so do your best to get accurate results. Now, does this place have a changing room? I looked around and found nothing of avail. Time for the producer to vacate! With a grin, Nattan carted me out of the office into the cold hallway. I guess that meant no. Meanwhile, Julie stood on her tippy toes and grabbed a cardboard box from the top of a steel shelf. I'm going to give her a country accent just for lack of a better way, like any real way of distinguishing her. Be careful! That feels terrible, though. I maybe won't do that. While Mariah was the tallest of the bunch, it was clear from her drunken swaying that she lacked capacity to grab the box. Looks like this is where the swimming suits are. Julie opened the box and, sure enough, saw a set of swimwear inside. Aki dropped a coil of measuring tapes onto the table. Let's strip! Well, I guess we have to do it. Julie reached into her skirt and pulled down her panties. Alright! It's black. What's wrong with black? Okay, we got boobage. Nimu's behemoth chest spilled out as she unclipped her bra. They're like two watermelons. Nimu stuck out her tongue as she wrapped a measuring tape around her memories. I bet you Nimu's chest is wider than my butt. Listen up, girls. Mariah interrupted the girls' tomfoolery. That new producer's up to no good. I recognize his face from back when I was with Golden Calf. Even though he never talked personally, all the men who work there are the same. He'll sucker us with big promises like we'll be famous and have millions of fans. He'll probably go on and on about how he can get us lives and how great the idols he produces turn out. And then he'll make us sign a bunch of fishy contracts. That's when the nice guy act will end. He'll force us to do this and that, topless photo shoots, make us see bugs on live television. Wow. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Who knows what new punishment game they'll devise next. And after he's through with us, he'll just cut us loose and say things like, "You're just not fresh enough anymore." Away from the eyes of the producer, Aki's personality had completely transformed. We all know Mariah's not cut out for this sort of work. What's wrong with putting ourselves out there? I say bring on the revealing photo shoots. I'll pose with my boobs cupped in my hands 1,000 times if it means I get to stand on a stage. An idol who's scared of fan service doesn't deserve to be an idol at all. Just because Mariah screwed up her shot to become an idol doesn't mean she has to ruin it for the rest of us. You don't even know half of what it's like. Could it be Aki-chan doesn't mind posing topless just because she doesn't have nothing to hide up there? You always have to open your mouth. A flat chest is an appeal point in today's market. Aki let her bra drop and puffed up her chest with pride. Well, the game is now making me edit the video, which I don't appreciate. So, thanks, Starnova. My editing skills are garbage. True enough, her chest was nothing to write home about. Her little mounds were but little mochi cakes next to Nimu's jugs of wonder. I've skipped drinking milk for the past 6 years just for my fans. Everyone? The girls turned to face Sasami, surprised that the usually quiet girl had spoken. The producer's not a bad guy. I think we should trust him. Boy, girls who trust others so easily get eaten alive in this industry, you know. Eaten alive! No, actually, I know the producer back from when we both worked at Golden Calf. Eh? Why didn't you say something earlier? Well, it's not like we know each other well. In fact, I've only met him once. Once? And you think we should trust him because of that? You're just... Anyways, that one time was enough for me to believe that he's not a bad guy. Just what makes you think that? Sasami's voice trailed off. Maybe Sasa-chan confessed to the producer that one time. No, it's not that, Natan. Figures. With that, the girls finished putting on the swimsuits and measuring themselves, their discussion left unresolved. The Shining Productions office consisted of just a small break room and a main office. Oh gosh, okay, we're 36 minutes in, so actually, before we move on to the next scene, plus the fact I'm gonna have to edit this video thanks to the boobage, we're gonna call it here. So, as always, thank you guys very much for watching. It's an interesting start. It's very much a game about the idol industry. Very much, as I suspected, it feels very much like an Idolmaster themed sort of game. Which I find amusing, because I have, you know, I've watched several Idol animes. I've watched, Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, and I've watched Love Live. Love Live is definitely my favorite Idol series, but I did like Idolmaster, and this game seems amusing. But we'll see if it continues to have that sort of trope-ish appeal, I guess. Like, I wouldn't say anything in the game is standing out at the moment, but it is amusing. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you would like to see more. Granted, it's only a demo, so I'll probably just record all of it in 1 or 2 sessions anyway. And we'll see if there's any interest for the game in the future as it comes out. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time.